Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us yet again today on Fortitude with me, Roland Gutierrez, with Marty, and with George, or Jorge, or Giorgio.
Hi.
It has been a really, it's just another week here in Trump world. Putting up with crazy bullshit, trying to stay sane, trying to figure out, what's what. And so here we are back on our show with our little therapy session, and we just kind of keep you up on what's been happening. Yesterday, I had a moment. We were going to do the show Tuesday. It's Wednesday today. We were going to do it yesterday around 4 o'clock. And I was literally, I had a moment here at the office where I fell. It's almost embarrassing to say how I fell. And I hit my elbow on a coffee table. And literally missed the chair, and no, I wasn't drinking.
No, just ordinary negligence.
But you guys were like, you weren't here yet. You were in your office down the road, and my legal assistant and a lawyer that works for us were here, and I was yelling, "Help! Help!" And nobody came. Literally, I was calling out for help, and nobody could hear me. They were on phone calls doing their thing, and I couldn't get up. I had really fallen, and I couldn't get up.
Well, that's why we're going to get you some life alert.
Yes, it was the shark. Yes. If you have fallen and you can't get up, call Life Alert. Nobody has hired us to do this advertising yet. Can someone please call us and give us $1 to advertise your shit for you?
We will do it for $1.
So anyway, if I had had a Life Alert, someone would have actually come to my rescue. But I had to kind of crawl out because I couldn't even move because my whole right arm, I felt like I had shattered my elbow.
Yeah, you're down for the season.
I was, yes. I can no longer pitch against the Mets. And anyway, I crawled to the outer office here and opened the door and yelled for help and fell to my left side, at which point they all thought I was crazy. They actually thought I was having a heart attack. That's how bad this was.
You have to have a heart to do that. So,
if I had a drum set, I'd give you the.
I mean, this all sounds a lot like Leonardo DiCaprio's The Revenant.
All right.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know where the bears are, but what did he fall in The Revenant? I don't.
No, the bear attacked him, and then he had to crawl.
Yes.
Back in through the snow.
Okay, yes,
yeah, like you had to do through your office.
Yes, this was like The Revenant. Literally, I crawled, but I couldn't even crawl because the elbow was all jammed up.
Oh, sorry.
So it was worse than The Revenant.
So one elbow trying to get up on my knees, and from my knees, I kind of crawled. It hit the light over there and said, "Help, help, come and get me." And
just like the American middle class. So
yes,
no one hears your
no one here to help me.
Everybody else is on the phone.
Because Republicans would rather see how we're looping this around. Republicans don't give a shit about you. They would rather give money to billionaires than to give you health care insurance. So I stuck it out, put some ice on it. I did not break the elbow. I can hardly squeeze right now, so I'm sure there's some kind of tendon stuff going on.
Oh, for sure, man.
And so anyway, here we are. That's what happened to me yesterday.
Sorry.
And I'm gonna be all right. But there's a lot there. Big game Sunday. Was it Sunday? The soccer match?
It was Sunday.
Soccer doesn't matter.
The footy
football match. Real football.
It's not football. It's not football.
I mean, it's the one you play the most with your foot.
It is the first football before football was football.
We all just agree not to talk about this for another 4 years.
Listen, man, I like to watch it. It's fun. I do think it brought people together. It was nice to have, people from other countries in the United States to interact with people in the United States that had never been to those other countries. If you can ever afford to travel, do it. It's hard to think that people can these days in Trump's world. Hell, we can't even afford to travel to the next county with these gas prices, but doing the best we can. it was nice to have so many people from different parts of the world come over here and how much they enjoy the U.S. to the extent that they did, and how much we enjoyed them, and that was fabulous. But did you see, Trump at the end of this thing? Wasn't he motherfucking Spain?
Yes.
Like a week before?
Yes.
What was he saying?
He said that they were filled with, I think he said they were crazy, like not asylum seekers, but like should all be in a crazy asylum. It was something despicable that he said about the Spanish, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd love to live in Spain.
Would you?
Fucking free healthcare, bro.
Where would you live, man?
If I lived in Spain, I wouldn't have my elbow thing. I'd probably have one of those life alerts for free.
You'd still fall down. I just want to go on record and say you would still fall down in Spain.
Listen, I've been to Spain. They don't live to work. They work to live.
They're not Americans.
And is that really the doctor you want looking after your elbow?
I told you all the story before. We're not going to get into it, but they saved, Congressman Castro's life, Spanish doctors.
Did.
When American doctors couldn't even figure out that the guy was riddled with cancer, they figured out and saved his life after a car accident down the road somewhere in Spain. But, they just live better. They eat better. There's less obesity because they're eating better. They're walking around more. Their communities are more mobile. There's more mobility.
Yeah, there's smaller cities, right? Like,
smaller cities, you move around in trains. All of it just makes more sense, as far as, and there's not this whole crap where people are just hating each other. I mean, they probably pay a little bit more in taxes than we do, but
you think?
Yeah.
Well, but they also don't have the opportunity to hear the sweet hum of a V8 Hemi inside a Dodge Ram screaming down the highway.
That is true. Hey, don't.
So there are trade-offs.
Don't knock my diesel.
We're just rolling coal, baby.
So the soccer match, Spain wins, and he has to go give him the trophy.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker wanted to stay there with the Spanish team.
He did.
And be part of the trophy ceremony, and the crooked FIFA guy saying, hey, you need to get off. You need to get off. It's just so fucking weird.
He's the FIFA World Peace Prize winner. Show some respect.
It's so weird. So weird.
It's like, I don't know, like sad, really. Just kind of has to glom on to the attention always. Just a sad, sad thing. Watching a president. The president should command attention. He shouldn't latch on to other people's attention. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you. He just has to figure out a way to glom on, because as the only attention he gets is the crazy shit he does, the crazy shit he says, and it's all fucking nuts. And last week was no different. Did we talk about low T last week a little bit?
I don't think so. I think it happened after
the show.
Yeah.
Did we? I think we had a low T moment.
Well, look, let's not start about low T moments in this show. But, I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Aren't you the producer?
Testosterone.
Whoa. Okay, hold on. I only listen to this podcast about 10 times a week, okay? You can't expect me to remember everything you guys say.
Hey, testosterone pellets by BioT.
Wait. Not until we sign the contract.
They keep you moving. Ask Pete Hegseth.
You need to get your own white label testosterone pills.
We were looking at this dude earlier, and he had a hearing yesterday.
He did.
Yeah.
And he really he looks like a little boy, doesn't he?
He does. I mean,
like a deer in the headlights kind of lost.
Yes. He's over his head.
Right. But he tries to do this real confident, bolstery, high T, full of testosterone kind of guy. But he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
It's the difference between sounding like you know what you're doing and actually knowing what you're doing, right?
It's like a whole administration of fake it till you make it.
Just charlatans.
Charlatans.
Yeah.
Pull-ups in the airport.
Flim flam men.
The one that's not faking it till you make it is Steve Miller. That motherfucker is a racist through and through.
He's a legendary staffer.
A legendary staffer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's faking it until he makes it too, sure. But that motherfucker knew it's like he read Mein Kampf and he said, this is the playbook.
Yes. Well, yes.
You think that some Mexican dude screwed his girlfriend in high school or something, to the extent that Steve Miller was even capable of having a girlfriend?
You know, his family hates him. They've talked a lot about what kind of person he was as a child and in high school.
What's he got to get Mexicans? I mean, he hates us.
I don't know. I think it's just a convenient target. I think that he saw an opportunity and he has found this niche and he's become extraordinarily powerful because of it. I mean, he was the chief staffer on the Judiciary Committee when it was Jeff Sessions, right? So Jeff Sessions is the one who brings him over to Trump world. And from there, he became this like Goebbels. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's fucking nuts. I still believe someone, some Mexican stole a girlfriend from him.
Well, I think his hate isn't limited to Mexicans, right? Or Central Americans or South Americans. It's anybody who's not
just any non-white.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude is listen, shtick, whatever it is. It's not a stick if you say it every day. The dude is a racist motherfucker.
Agreed.
Just Klansman. And the craziest thing that before we get into the maybe two topics we're going to talk about today.
Maybe.
I'm all over the place right now. Before we get into those two topics and talking about the Klan, and we've had this ICE discussion before. We talked about the young man that was killed in Maine. I just, it really is, that's all that Nazi shit, isn't it? The mask is really, the whole ICE thing, I mean, that is just complete Klan-like behavior. I'm talking about the KKK, I mean.
No, I know what you mean. Of course it is, right? So, the Klan started in 1876, I think, 1867, right? It was after the Civil War. And there were several versions of the Klan in Texas, especially. There was the White System Night Camellia. And it shouldn't surprise you to know that there's a Klansman who's in the House Gallery.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's one of the people who we have a portrait of, who in a place of honor. It's the father of the Texas Klan, right? And
these fuckers have him in the Capitol, and they won't remove him.
They won't remove him ever. And I think that if you look at all vigilantism and violent aggression from reactionary politics, like the Klan or neo-Nazis, the common thread is to disguise your intentions, disguise who you are, and to pick someone to pick on.
Right.
Who everyone hates.
Right. So back then it was, black people, slaves, and these fuckers, I mean, they get the masks. They get the hoods back in the day.
They do.
Did you ever see that movie? Was it Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Or was it? No.
It was Django.
It was Django.
Yeah, it's a hilarious scene. It's a hilarious scene.
Fucking A.
My wife spent all night making these.
Yeah, it was Django.
Yes.
It was Don Johnson.
Yes. Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
It comes out in Django, and a young Jonah Hill, and the fucking mask scene is just the hood. It's just crazy.
Fucking hilarious.
If you haven't seen Django, you should watch it. This is the second time we mentioned Leo DiCaprio today on this show. The Revenant. Now Django.
We all appreciate the hoods, the masks, and the work that Jeff's wife put into them.
So Hollywood has brought some humor to this horrible, horrible thing. But here we are in 2026, and we have a full-on law enforcement unit that this motherfucking President Trump has created through people like Steve Miller and others. And these motherfuckers are wearing these stupid masks. And they don't have the balls to show their faces.
So, I mean, I don't think it's about balls. I think it's about
Intimidation.
it's a legal strategy.
Yeah.
I think it's honestly a legal strategy.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know who's,
If you know who's shooting you.
you can't sue them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No name tags. No badge numbers. No body cams. No identification on their cars.
Yes.
6-week trained thugs. That is some shit, people.
This is what 80 million Americans voted for.
You allowed that shit. And this is why you should be scared. Because today it's, people with last names like mine and Borges and dark complexions and so on, or for that matter, in pickup trucks. Tomorrow, it's the next thing that they don't like.
And today, they issued a report on online leftism and the domestic terrorism threat that it is. So they're next.
Oh, yeah. And all this shit that they feed you on communists and socialists and all this nonsense, all this, picking on somebody else like you just talked about. It's just all horse shit. While they steal from you, billionaires get richer, millionaires get richer, people are making money left and right on the Trump side. And it isn't even coming down to their MAGA nuts. It's just their inside circle.
It's just their money.
Making money.
Just making money. Opportunities for them and rules for us every time.
Let's talk about some other things. Let's talk about how they're screwing you some more. We're going to talk a little bit about data centers. Data centers in Texas coming to a neighborhood near you.
Yeah.
A rural community outside of an urban community near you. I think they've hired just about every lobbyist in Austin, by the way.
Yeah, that's the way you do it. If you had unlimited money, that's the way you would do it.
I feel like we're got like the casinos all over again. They hire all the lobbyists to try to get casinos, and yet Dan Patrick puts the squeeze on it, and because you didn't hire his lobbyist.
Right.
It's crazy. So what are these data centers, Marty, Giorgio? What are they?
They are infrastructure to handle compute. So when you go online and you refresh your browser and you ask a question to your browser, that those little electrons get processed somewhere and it gets sent back to you. And the data centers are what do that, right? There's server farms essentially, but more than that, right? And they take an enormous amount of energy, and because they run hot, they take water to cool down. And as a consequence, you should know that they pay the same rate as industry when they buy electricity, and they pay the same rate or less when they buy water. And so their rate they pay is much less than you do for their energy, and much less than what you pay for their water. And they, as a consequence, they're draining your aquifers and using your energy and raising your costs throughout the board. And you have there's a hum associated with it. You heard about this one. This is not in Texas, but this is, I think, in Atlanta or Tennessee.
They're humming.
There's a data center next to a zoo.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of consternation about how the hum was affecting the hearing and how the animals, because animals hear differently than we do, right? They hear different frequencies, and it was driving the animals fucking crazy.
Dude.
So there are unintended consequences for choices we make as leaders, and one of them is that energy is going to get more costly and your water will get more scarce, and that's very problematic for most of us.
You don't have an iPhone, but does your phone ever get like really hot?
Yeah.
And so, like, sometimes my phone will get like super hot, and I have to turn the thing off.
That's because you're being watched by somebody, probably.
Oh, scary. I don't know why it gets really hot, but it sucks.
You need to take it out of the sun.
No, this is not the case. I mean, sometimes it gets really hot. So I would imagine that these places, they get really hot. And that's why they need to
Cool down, man.
cool down. Because they're not going to turn them off.
No, because One thing the machine never does is it never turns off. More information, more power, more money, all flowing, and it's all yours, right?
Speed. I need more speed. What movie was that? Star Trek or what was that?
Star Trek,
Yeah.
or at least one of them.
Scotty. They need more speed.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, all your chat GPT, all that bullshit. There's so much happening so fast now in the world. And probably save this next part of this conversation for some other day so we can do a little bit of research. These companies like Palantir and others that are like security type, information security companies, and they really are kind of watching us on some level. And so I don't want to talk Palantir. That's something for another day, I think. But all that is a little scary. But the intense water usage is, what are other states reporting?
Yeah, I don't know. But I know that whatever we have in Texas is insufficient to meet the current opportunity that we face, right? We have not factored in most of these data centers into our long-term water plans and into our long-term energy plans. And they will only grow more numerous unless we get ahead of this and start asking questions like, how are you going to do this? Where does your water come from? Where does your energy come from? Why are you doing this here? And I'm not in the way of I don't want to get in the way of private industry, neither do you, but we should be asking questions about those things.
Yeah, so Abbott has kind of sold his soul to the devil on this one. I mean, he really came out in a big way for these data centers and kind of gave away the farm, if you will.
He did.
And so last week, we saw none other than Sid Miller.
God bless him.
As Commissioner of Agriculture. And you know me, I've said good things about Sid in the past and on some of the work that we've done together on the Farmer Suicide Prevention Act and what is the program called?
Agri-stress.
The Agri-stress hotline that they created with an amendment that you and I did together.
It was all you, champ.
Well, thank you, but it was really a constituent who had lost her father who brought us this idea. And this past session, we created the microloan program again. Forced the Republicans' hand, brought $100 million into the Ag Commission to be able to do microloans for farmers. We need to check on that program and see how it's doing because farmers really need help right now because these guys have done this horrible stuff, right? And so we've got to figure out for ourselves where we are. But Sid really pushed back on Abbott. I thought that was really something.
It was strong. I mean, I think what Abbott did that was interesting was he said, how about this? No more data centers until we figure this out, right? It's a classic political maneuver. Yeah, you guys are right. Let's just hit the brakes for a while. Because then, once you get past the news cycle or the election, you can just keep on doing what you want to do without having to answer the right questions.
Right.
So everyone who's watching or listening, all four of you, just remember to ask your leaders the questions. Where does the water come from? Where does the energy come from? What are the plans for when this hurts us, right?
Right, because that's what this asshole's going to do. He's just going to snow job you into, really all of them are going to snow job you into this notion that all is okay and that we're going to sit here and review this. But if they remain in control and you let them remain in control, then KD bar the door. Your water bill's going to go up. You're going to have scarcity. This is not hyperbole. This is happening in other communities. These places will affect your bottom line in your home. 100%.
100%. I mean, even here's what the data center people will say. They'll say, we'll drill our own water. We'll use 100% recycled water. Yeah. So when they say that, you should say when and how are you going to do that, right? The details matter, right? And at the end of the day, if we don't do this correctly, if we don't have significant leadership from our elected leaders in Austin, not only will the price of energy go up, not only will there be less water for all of us, but they're going to continue to get a tax break because there's a tax credit now for data centers, which is ludicrous.
Mm-hmm. We gave billionaires, not we, Republicans gave billionaires more opportunity to steal from you and charge you more in the process, in the offing. So, that leads me to this other thing, because you said this guy, he says, okay, we're going to stop for a bit. We're going to take a pause.
Yeah.
And then we're going to fix it or whatever, or review it.
Wink.
Wink. So Abbott and I were in the same room again in Uvalde, Texas last week. The three of us were there. Get this shit. It's one of my communities I represent. You all know about what happened in Uvalde some years ago during that horrible tragedy. Well, we had another flood in Texas. We should have that Stevie Ray Vaughan song. It's flooding down in Texas.
Yeah, that should be pretty cheap for us to do.
He's not around anymore, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't.
We should be able to just take it.
I'm sure he doesn't own his rights.
Someone should let us use that song, Texas Flood. Because goddamn, it was flooding and it was crazy and it was scary. So they do this press conference, and I purposely stayed out of the way of the emergency responders because they need to go out there and save lives, and they saved a lot of lives. Unfortunately, 2 people in that community died that were swept away. Nevertheless, emergency folks did right because politicians stayed out of the way. It's very different from the shooting tragedy in Uvalde because we were there constantly. We met our constituents where they were. We got to know them. They became our friends. And then government began to lie to them. And we pushed back against that same government that lied to them daily. And so on this situation, I said, give them a few days to kind of let these flood waters clear up, let the rains clear up. The Texas Department of Emergency Management did a great job as best they could. But then they had a press conference, and I get a call like the morning of, hey, we're going to be here. The governor's going to be here. It didn't want to go, to be honest with you.
Why not? Can you explain why not?
Listen, I've seen that bullshit shit show.
Yeah.
I've seen Abbott take his victory laps with the cowboy hats behind him, say, oh, everybody did a great job, mission accomplished. But we know that's all horse shit. Because the reason, listen, and people give me shit that I politicize these things and these tragedies. That's all bullshit. Listen, that thing in Kerrville last year, that horrible flood that killed over 100 people, over 27 campers, little girls, they could have been avoided. Those were 100-year technologies that the state of Texas did not have for those campers. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And if someone that is in public office can't say, you Republicans have fucked up here, then what am I here to do? And you fucked up because you didn't have the things that people in these communities needed. They have fucked over rural communities for time and time again. Republicans, especially Greg Abbott, have fucked over these communities. In this community, even before Uvalde, the mass shooting, had asked for radio communications and cell towers and support on those cell towers, the same cell towers that the Department of Public Safety in Texas uses, and constantly this governor thumbed their nose at him, thumbed his finger at him, and said no. I mean, we're talking about a state that currently has $27 billion in rainy day funds, almost, right?
I think that's right.
And, so I knew what this shit was going to be like, last week. But I went anyway because I went and talked to certain people in the community, constituents that I know. Matter of fact, she's publicized this on Facebook now, so everybody knows now. I talked by phone with Kim Rubio. She had lost her child 4 years ago. And in all that tragedy, I mean, here we are 4 years later, and poor Kim is now lost her home. And her home is flooded, about 2 feet of water. And most of you might think, well, shit, that's 2 feet of water. You can fix that, whatever.
Maybe.
This was a home that she bought for her family after this tragedy, and she moved near the high school, nice part of Uvalde, and about 500 homes affected. As I drove up the last minute, and I had you guys drive from San Antonio west, and I drove northwest from Laredo. I was doing down in Laredo on some work. And I didn't think I was going to get there because I'm looking at the navigation. It's got all these red dots on the highway, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. Batesville, Texas, a little town that nobody's ever heard of. I know I've heard of, but most people haven't. It's south and east of Uvalde. Was under a tremendous flood watch. And the rains had stopped, by the way. But the rivers were so saturated that they were coming downstream and really affecting these towns. And poor folks in Batesville, small community, about 1,000 homes total, many of them were affected. And I couldn't get over to Batesville. I couldn't turn right. I was on Highway 83. I couldn't get over there because DPS was blocking those roads. And nobody talked about Batesville in this press conference. It was just this, we accomplished this shit, we got it all done, mission accomplished horse shit that I've heard before, just like 4 years ago during that tragic event when he got up there the next day, 24 hours later. He got briefed for 2 hours. He came out and he says it could have been worse. One of those assholes actually said it could have been worse. What kind of could have been worse on this flood thing could it have been? I mean, you lost billions, not billions, millions.
Probably billions.
Maybe.
Probably
Maybe 1 billion. Who knows? Maybe 2. You lost hundreds of millions of dollars in property damage. 3 people died across 28 counties. But no one answers the question, why does this keep happening in rural Texas? Why haven't they planned for it? Because you can do dams, you can do reservoirs, you can do so much when you have the money to do it. And we have a lot of extra money in Texas. But the bigger piece is, okay, let's assume we're not going to build a lake that costs billions of dollars. Let's assume these people have been in harm's way for 100 years when it rains.
Longer, actually. But yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And let's make those assumptions. And there's FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, right? The same agency that Donald Trump doged
Yes.
a year and a half ago. Gutted it. Hundreds of jobs gone. Money gone. Money that goes to your community's gone. What does this idiot governor say? Oh, well, we're going to wait for FEMA to do something. I've talked to the president. We're going to do something. Well, who knows how long that's going to take to get Kim back in her home and so many others? Because let's talk about that devastation, that damage. You now live in this home and you've got your pictures up, your stuff's on the wall. And, you know, you're living there, you're watching TV with your kids, everything, and then this rain just keeps coming down, and now the river starts to rise. Things are happening. Your water, your floor, your carpeting, your sheetrock, your insulation, all of it needs to be gutted out. Your foundation is affected. Maybe your HVAC is affected. Maybe you got mold in your house. So many things that are happening in that one first day and that second day and that first week and that second week. Who knows how long it takes you to actually repair your house and get it, back to where it once was. And so this guy, first thing he says is a FEMA agency that has completely broken. And that's fair, isn't it?
I think that's fair. That's correct. Yeah.
Many states are suffering.
It's definitely worse than it was 3 years ago, for instance. So.
All right. Well, you've got private insurance, he says.
Not if you're not in a flood zone.
That's right. And if you're in a flood zone, your deductible's crazy.
So I live in a flood zone. I pay for flood insurance every year, and it only covers $35,000 and for contents, and my deductible is 35% of the value of the house. I mean, I have the cheapest plan I can get,
right?
Because I just know that I'll never be able to collect one way or the other.
So if you had $100,000 home, which is most people have a $200,000 home.
Mine is only $100,000.
Okay, if you have a $100,000 home, your deductible is
$35K.
$35K out of your pocket.
Yeah.
That you have to pay. And so that's his second answer. And so the third fucking ridiculous, outlandish thing, and they said this before when those kids died 4 years ago, And I'm just sitting there, and they asked me, they called me up, and they said, hey, do you want to stand up here? I don't want to stand next to that asshole. Fuck him. I do not see eye to eye with this man. I do not respect this man. I think he's a feckless leader. I think he's a charlatan. I think he lost his way years ago. I think he's become Dan Patrick's lapdog. And we deserve real policy. And his answer is to these people, to thousands of homeowners. Well, go on to the government's website because there'll be some donations that you might be able to get some grants from.
He pushed his own C3.
For fucking donations. So, some of you haters on the other side, well, what did you do, Roland? Well, that same day, I asked him for a $500 million fund. Where's the money? We have it sitting in a $26.5 billion account. The LBB, which is a group of him and the lieutenant governor and the speaker of the house and a few other people could get together and say, we're going to take this money from DPS for a short time or from somewhere else for a short time, and we're going to plug this gap to make them whole.
It could be done.
They didn't even blink an eye. They have done nothing on taking government money to help people. They would rather you go to the shitty little donation deal and get your $100 when you have a $35,000 deductible.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Oh, but we called the HEB and they're going to give you some free food. Thank you, HEB, for doing that, by the way. I got a text yesterday, free cleaning products. By the way, thank you. HEB, giving people free cleaning products in these affected communities. Great. Today, I get another thing from the government. Oh, there's going to be some food trucks from Tyson Foods. Thank you, Tyson Foods. We appreciate it. Guess what? It's not your fucking job. It's government's job to take care of people that are sick and infirm, that can't feed themselves, that find themselves homeless because of some goddamn catastrophe that was sent by nature. Government is there to fix that stuff, but not under Greg Abbott's government. Not under Donald Trump's government.
You're on your own.
You're on your own. It's not even hurry it up and wait. No help is on the way. The people in Uvalde, Texas, got zero help from Greg Abbott. I asked him to create a fund with an exception under the Texas Constitution to be able to help people, to give them direct money in situations where there is a calamity, a public calamity. The guy refused because he is a pathetic leader who only gives a shit about data centers, who only gives a shit about billionaires, who doesn't give a shit about people if they don't have money. Just like it was shown 4 years ago, he didn't care about Mexican kids in Uvalde. He doesn't care about the people that have lost their homes in Uvalde, Texas. And so you want to know why I didn't go to that stupid... Well, I went to the shit show. You know why I didn't stand next to him?
I do.
Because I'm not going to stand next to a fucking coward with no solutions. And I don't give a fuck if he he's done it before. He's raised money against me. The last guy got $2 million. The guy before that got $4 million. Bring it on. By the way, we need some help.
Here's my favorite part of the program.
We need some donations because Greg Abbott's coming after me.
Send money.
Go to Roland for Texas. Hit the donate link. You'll find it. RolandForTexas.com. Find us on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else. Because we do need help. We got to stay in office to keep pushing back. And I have pushed back, and I've gotten hundreds of millions of dollars for people in my community when Republicans didn't want to. And I forced their hand over and over again, and I'm going to keep fighting for you. And I'm going to keep fighting for common sense policies that make sense for Texans. Because that's what public servants should do. we should be able to come up with the things that make sense for all of us, Democrats, Republicans alike. But unfortunately, the Republican Party have become the lapdogs to the very, very, very rich. And they don't care about working class families. They don't care about affordability. Affordability is not a word to them. They don't care that you can't pay for your groceries because they'll just sit there and tell you, well, the stock market's doing great. Well, who the fuck has stocks?
Not me.
Not me. My wife got some in an inheritance. Good for her. She makes it clear. She makes it very clear that that's her money, by the way. And so I'm telling you, I mean, this is the world that these people, and so what they've divided you. They've convinced you into this shit over and over. Oh, those Democrats, they're communists and socialists, and they like gays, and they like black people, they like this, and they like that, and they're for Palestine. Well, you know what? I'm for fucking leaving people alone. I'm for making sure that government does what it's supposed to do and just providing the goods and services of government to people that need them, which is all of us, right? And so these Republicans have they've lost, they have no sense or clue of what government is. They created it into a 4-letter word, didn't they?
They did. I mean, this is what happens with empire, right? You have so much success over such a long time period, you stop listening to people and you think your own thoughts are their thoughts. And right now, Republicans are at the top of the empire, right? They've controlled state government for 30 fucking years. And they can't hear anyone else's cries because they've walled themselves up and they can't hear you.
Speaking of Republicans, I'm drinking my Bill Miller water, Bill Miller's barbecue. See, I'm supporting these Republicans. You can...
That's a good point, boy.
Yeah, it would be nice. Hey, we could go with some free food here. Send us something.
Especially Bill Miller's brand new delicious chicken bites with the sweet tea glaze. Available at Bill Miller's near you for only $8.95 for the 8-piece.
Yeah. Send us
a little bit more for the 12 count.
We need some sponsors for sure. But as we close today, we're going to talk about our last topic, and we are going to talk a little bit. We're going to touch about affordability because we saw a hearing yesterday with Low T, Pete Hegseth, or High T. I guess he's full of testosterone.
I mean, if you have to supplement it, are you really full of it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, he was really jacked up last week when he did that commercial.
It was a bizarre commercial. I thought it was AI when I first saw it.
Yeah, it was. I thought we did talk about it. He was crazy, man. I mean, so he wants the military guys, men and women, I suppose, to be tested for testosterone levels. So, there's some company out there that he is, pushing for. But yesterday he was in a hearing where he was asking, I want to be very clear here, $1.5 trillion.
Yes.
For the war in Iran, the 5-month war that was supposed to end in 5 weeks.
I think it was more, if it was for the war, but also to replenish the stockpiles, right? And to fund the armed services, right? So it's more than just the war. It was everything for his department.
For his department, $1.5 trillion. Well, people at home can't afford auto insurance, healthcare insurance, gasoline, groceries, the cost of higher education for their children to try to attain some form of American dream. None of those things are accessible anymore, especially if you're in rural communities. It's even harder.
Yes.
It's even harder. And in true Pete Hegseth fashion, I think it was Kirsten Gillibrand that starts asking him those very same issues. You're asking us for all this money. your government through Donald Trump has screwed America on tariffs, on this assault on immigrants that's hurting our economy, not to mention the real pain that they're causing these families, the tariff war that he's done across the nation, across the world, this ridiculous war that has cost so much, and you're asking yet for more money. And in true testosterone supplemented, jacked up way, he goes and talks about the first 5 weeks. What did he call it? The Operation Midnight Hammer? What was it?
Midnight Hammer was last year when they did those controlled strikes.
Oh, that was last year.
Yeah.
Midnight Hammer.
I think I'm remembering that correctly. Right?
That was like a porn movie.
It does. It sounds like a 80s porn with a plot.
Yes,
Really
the Midnight Hammer.
get into.
Georgia, you're better at this.
The Midnight Hammer. Well,
Starring?
Hold on.
Is that Donald Trump and what was the the lady's name?
Stormy Daniels.
Stormy Daniels.
She was more of a late
Midnight
90s, early
Hammer.
2000s
Yeah.
film actress. So
Yeah, except she would have called it the Midnight. She didn't call him a hammer.
The
She
Midnight
called
Mushroom.
him Pinky.
I think it actually sounds like a pretty good 80s action sitcom, like Knight Rider.
yeah, like wasn't Hammer was like a 80s not sitcom, but it was a police procedural, right? It had Stacy Keach in it. Is that right? Am I remembering it right?
Are you thinking of no?
It was called Hammer, wasn't it?
It's MC Hammer.
No, the show Hammer.
I don't know.
Yeah, there was a show called Hammer. Yeah, it was.
Stacy Keach. He was an out of control detective who would stop at nothing to solve a crime.
I don't fucking know. I don't know, but
He's a loose cannon cop
You
who
were in
didn't play by
college.
the rules.
yeah. So anyway, I mean, we listen. We're going to keep talking about affordability because it's real. I mean, we're all having to deal with this. I mean, again, prices front the gas pump are way up. And the one thing that I've noticed on the gas pump piece is, Trump says, they're at $4. Well, before you started this shit, they were $2.30.
It's about to get a lot worse too.
Yep.
On Wednesdays, the federal government publishes the data associated with the complete petroleum market. And one of the things they publish is how much they're taking out of the SPR. And today, they published that they took 5 million barrels in the last week. And it lowered the SPR from 316 million barrels to 311. And what you need to know is that we need 70 million barrels just so the caverns where they store the petroleum won't collapse. And we need 240 million at least to make sure that we're militarily ready. So we're reaching a junction where we can't use the SPR to lower the price of gas anymore. Wow. We're in a dangerous next 6 weeks or so.
Yeah, this is really crazy. We're anyway. I don't have any more words to say about this. I mean, it's just lunacy. And the only thing I can tell you is go vote, go educate yourself, go read. My daughter was asking me earlier about democratic socialism, and because someone was trying to convince her. She's learning. She's 19. She's Dad. I like capitalism. And I told her, I said, honey, so do I. We're all capitalist here, but I had to kind of. What do you think this Democrat socialism is? She said, well, this guy, Mamdani, he's just not, he says it was about business and so on. And he was talking about a couple of different things that Mamdani does. I said, well, honey, you have to look at what's happening here and look at it in such a way where you have corporations, like say Elon Musk, for instance, heads of corporations that are literally billionaires.
He's a trillionaire, or was.
Yeah, trillionaire billionaires that are paying zero in taxes.
That's right.
Because they have set up the structures, the mechanisms, the tools to evade taxes.
Yes.
Or avoid paying taxes. Things that I certainly can't do.
God, I wish I could.
And it's here I am just trying to maintain my part of the American dream, my 11 employees that I have, and it's hard. It's truly hard. Small businesses in the United States make up 95% of the businesses of the United States. Imagine that. So small businesses less than 500 employees, and most businesses have a hell of a lot less than that.
For sure.
We make up 95% of the employment of the jobs of the United States. And then, of course, big corporate America is the other 5%. I want everybody to get an understanding of what that means. A guy like me that has 11 employees, I'm not talking about my state employees, I'm talking about in my law office, another deal that my wife and I have. My wife and I owned a restaurant before. That was the stupidest fucking thing I ever did.
Good food.
It was good food, but I lost my shirt, man. But it's hard. It's really hard to try to make it in America. Yes, we are all capitalists, but by God, I mean, billionaires and multimillionaires should pay their part, and they've got enough freebies in life. And for my part, because, I'm pretty much there. For my part, yeah, we should have free health care in the United States. We said it all along. Universal health care, single payer model. This isn't hard. Most first world countries have it. I don't think we need to talk more about that today, but that's it. You know what democratic socialism is? It's fairness. It's fairness.
I mean, when I hear democratic socialist, the first thing I think about is that they're not that socialist. They're just FDR Democrats. That's all they are, really.
100%.
And really, they're really just Eisenhower Republicans. If you read the Republican platform from 1956, I think everyone should read it because it looks like it was written by Mamdani.
Hey, look, Abraham Lincoln, fine Republican. He said that the legitimate object of government is to do for the people that which they cannot do for themselves. Government has to do shit. They got to pave the roads. They got to do the plumbing. They got to do the sewer lines. They've got to do the damn, highway system, the post system, the banking system. And they got to provide for health care because it's a human right. And so this isn't hard, man. I mean, we've allowed insurance companies and for-profit models to screw us for a long, long, long time.
Yes.
A long, long, long time. And so, yeah, next time somebody asks me about democratic socialism, I like that. FDR Democrats. There should be this social fiber to our net country where we're taking care of each other.
Because no one else will do it.
Right. And we were the best country in the world at doing that for a long time.
For a long goddamn time.
And then other people saw our model. They said that makes sense. And they started doing it better. Really quite much better. And we went in reverse.
In 1980.
And we went in reverse such that we damn near have created the oligarchs again of the 1900s.
1890s, yeah.
Of the 1890s.
Yeah.
We've got robber barons.
Yeah, for sure.
Again.
Same situation, man. It's just like government-funded billionaires telling us that we're immoral because we're poor. So they can go fuck themselves.
That I'm a taker and not a maker, as Elon Musk retorted to me in one tweet.
God bless him.
Go fuck yourself.
We got a lot of followers after that. So just do it again, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think I said Donald Trump, chinga tu madre. Elon Musk, chinga tu madre. No vales madre. That means you're not worth a shit either. That's the beauty of my language. One word can mean so many different things. Yeah, man. I mean, we've got so much going on. We're going to close out here. Last night I saw, just for the hell of it, Good Will Hunting. It's a good movie.
It is.
I miss Robin Williams.
Yeah. It was his birthday yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a genius. Great film. Great actor. Great actors. Even though I'm not a Ben Affleck fan, it was a whole lot of great actors in that movie.
He's a great American.
Minnie Driver. Casey Affleck. Who else was in that film?
Stellan Skarsgård.
Yes, there you go. After I fell from my little horse riding incident. No, when I fell here at the office, I went home And I really was not feeling well at all. And so I was kind of just flipping. Before I watched Good Will Hunting, I did watch another movie last night. Another old movie, She's the One.
Oh,
Edward Burns.
Ed Burns, yeah.
Ed Burns.
That was his second movie?
Yeah.
Or was it the first movie?
And I'll tell you that the surprising thing, I was never a fan of She's the One as a movie, but the surprising thing is how many actors were in that movie.
Is that the one with Jennifer Aniston?
Jennifer Aniston, Ed Burns,
John Mahoney.
The gal that was in 40-something, the wife of Paul Rudd. What's her name?
Cameron Diaz is in that movie, right?
Cameron Diaz was in it. Just so many great actors.
She's married to Judd Apatow now, the actress you're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. What's her name? Here we go. Leslie Mann.
Yeah, that's right.
Amanda Peet was in the movie.
She is. She's the sister of Aniston.
Amanda Peet was in the movie. That's why so Frank Vincent. Remember Frank Vincent from The Sopranos?
I do. Yeah, he's
He plays a gangster a lot. This guy here.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember. He's
one of the capos on another family.
That's right.
And so a lot of actors.
Maxine Bonds.
Yeah, I wonder if John Mahoney's still alive.
No, he was in the Brothers McMullen. He's not in. She's the One. So.
Oh yeah, sure he was.
Yeah, he was in She's the One.
He's the father.
Because I was in. Isn't he the father in Brothers McMullen?
He's the father in this one too.
Yeah, he passed away. What was it? In 2008.
2018.
2018. Yeah, he was born in England.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about that. Thank you for joining us for our therapy session today. I'm sure we're getting less and less viewership as the weeks progress instead of going in a different direction.
I think the people have called and said they want to do an all-movie podcast. So we should do that.
They said all movie and baseball and throw in a trivia segment at the end.
That's right.
All 4 people called and said that?
That's still 100% of the audience.
Marty had requested more movies, so that's why I'm talking about more movies. But we do need to. My favorite movie, Cool Hand Luke. We'll talk about that someday. Thank you all. Appreciate it.